Denji, a young man, lived a life full of misfortune. His parents had accumulated a massive debt to the Yakuza, and when they couldn't repay it, they chose to take their own lives. That debt was then passed down to Denji, who was still very young at the time. He was left confused and terrified with no idea how to pay off such an enormous amount. To make matters worse, the Yakuza threatened him, saying that if he didn't repay the debt, they would mutilate him and sell his body parts on the black market. One day, out of nowhere, a chainsaw demon approached him. The demon was badly injured and collapsed right in front of Denji. Feeling sorry for the demon, Denji took the initiative to give it his own blood. In doing so, they formed a contract between a human and a demon. From that moment, Denji and the chainsaw demon became inseparable, like two sides of a coin. Denji then offered to work for the Yakuza by hunting down demons to repay his debt. The Yakuza agreed, as the corpses of demons that Denji killed could be sold on the black market. Thanks to the help of the chainsaw demon, Denji was able to survive and grow closer to the demon, who he later named Pochita. As Denji grew older, his financial situation still hadn't improved. His debt remained at 38 million yen, and he continued hunting demons to hand over to the Yakuza. He couldn't fully enjoy his earnings, as they were always deducted to cover his debt. Because of this, he continued living in poverty, residing in a rundown shack and eating nothing but plain bread every day. One night, the Yakuza took Denji to an abandoned building, telling him that a demon was hiding there and needed to be exterminated. However, Denji quickly realized it was a trap. He was stabbed from behind, left to die. It turned out that the Yakuza had made a contract with a zombie demon, seeking power to dominate even further. The demon wanted Denji dead and had the ability to turn the Yakuza members into zombies. Denji's bad luck seemed to have reached its peak. He died, ate by the zombies, but in a final twist of fate, one stroke of luck arrived. Pochita, who had been hanging on, decided to sacrifice its life for Denji. Their bodies merged, with Pochita's heart becoming a part of Denji, reviving him. This also gave Denji the power to transform into a chainsaw demon himself by pulling a cord that now dangled from his chest. Denji's head and arms turned into chainsaws, and he immediately attacked the zombie demon that had killed him. Once the main demon was defeated, all that remained were the Yakuza members who had turned into zombies. Without hesitation, Denji slaughtered them all. With the Yakuza destroyed, his debt was effectively wiped clean. The next morning, 3 government-recognized devil hunters arrived at the scene. They were sent to deal with the zombie demon, but instead they found Denji. To his surprise, one of the devil hunters, a woman named Makima, decided to recruit him. Denji was taken to the devil hunters' headquarters, but on the way, they stopped at a restaurant for a meal. For the first time in his life, Denji experienced kindness from someone, especially from a beautiful woman like Makima. Her beauty stunned him, and he blushed every time he looked at her. To Denji, she appeared like an angel from heaven. After their meal, they continued their journey and arrived at the headquarters. Denji was given a uniform and officially became a devil hunter. He was placed in a unit led by Aki Hayakawa, a devil hunter who had been on the job for 3 years. That same day, Aki and Denji were sent on patrol. During their patrol, Aki led Denji into a narrow alley far from the public eye. Once there, Aki suddenly started beating Denji. After leaving him on the ground, Aki offered some advice, telling Denji to quit being a devil hunter. He explained that people who become devil hunters for shallow reasons end up dead just like his former comrades. Only those with strong conviction can survive. Aki could sense that Denji wasn't serious about becoming a devil hunter. He knew that Denji's only motivation for joining was because Makima had invited him. After saying all this, Aki planned to return to headquarters alone. But as he started walking away, Denji quickly got back on his feet and kicked Aki in the groin from behind. He then declared that he would continue to be a devil hunter. This was the life he had always dreamed of, being treated kindly, getting meals, and having a decent place to stay. It was something special to him, and he had no intention of returning to his previous life under the Yakuza. Unexpectedly, after Denji kicked Aki, the incident actually brought them closer. When they got back to the headquarters, Makima instructed Aki to let Denji stay at his apartment. Aki, curious as to why Makima was so keen on taking Denji in, asked her who Denji really was. Makima explained everything to Aki, telling him that Denji was special, a human who could transform into a devil. He could become a valuable asset to the devil hunters, which is why he was being treated with special care. However, she warned that if Denji ever tried to rebel, he would be eliminated like any other devil. In other words, Denji's current status was both an asset and a prisoner. Now, living under the same roof, Denji could finally indulge in the simple pleasures he had long dreamed of, like eating bread with various spreads. Aki was shocked at how thrilled Denji seemed by such a mundane thing. He couldn't understand that, to someone who had just escaped a life of poverty, something as simple as bread could taste incredibly luxurious. The next day, Denji and Aki were assigned to hunt a fiend in a residential area. A fiend is a devil that has taken over a human body. During the mission, Aki asked Denji to transform into his chainsaw devil form to gauge his strength, but Denji refused. Instead, he killed the fiend using ordinary weapons. Aki then questioned Denji's decision, and Denji gave a false excuse, saying that he wanted to kill the fiend without causing it too much pain. In reality, he just didn't want to get blood on his adult magazines. Suddenly, Denji felt that something was missing from his life. Looking back, all of his dreams had already come true. He was free from debt, lived in a decent place, could eat bread, bathe every day, and had befriended a beautiful woman. But there was still one thing lacking: a purpose, a goal to strive for. He paused for a moment, trying to figure out what it was. And then it hit him. His new goal in life was to touch Makima's boba. The next day, Denji was paired with a new partner who wasn't human. Her name was Power, and she was a fiend. Denji's eyes immediately locked onto her large boba. Although Power was a fiend, she inhabited the body of a rather attractive woman. The two of them were sent on a mission to prove their worth. They were tasked with hunting devils on their own, without guidance from experienced hunters. This was essentially a test to see if they were truly fit to become devil hunters. Power was wild by nature. She often hunted animals like birds, cows, and bears. However, one day she came across a starving cat. For the first time in her life, she felt pity and decided to take care of the cat until it recovered. As time passed, Power grew attached to the cat, whom she named Nyako. The two became inseparable, but their bond was short-lived. Suddenly, a bat devil appeared and kidnapped Nyako. The bat devil was severely injured and needed human blood to heal. He ordered Power to bring him a human, or else he would kill Nyako. Desperate to save her beloved cat, Power began hunting humans. Unfortunately, before she could rescue Nyako, she was caught by Makima. Now, like Denji, Power was both an asset and a prisoner. Power then made a deal with Denji. If he could save Nyako, she would let him touch her boba. Hearing Power's offer, Denji's simple mind was instantly triggered. The next day, they set out to face the Bat Devil. However, upon reaching their destination, Power suddenly knocked Denji out. It turned out she had deceived him. Power planned to offer Denji as a trade to the Bat Devil in exchange for Nyako's freedom. At this point, Power was unaware of Denji's special abilities. She simply saw him as an ordinary human, fit to be a sacrifice. Power presented Denji to the Bat Devil, who began to recover after drinking some of Denji's blood. Power then demanded her reward as promised, asking for Nyako to be returned. But, in an unexpected twist, the Bat Devil betrayed her. Instead of releasing Nyako, he swallowed the cat whole, and then followed up by swallowing Power as well. Denji, enraged by the Bat Devil's cruelty, activated his devil powers and charged at the Bat Devil. They clashed fiercely, their battle spilling into a crowded area. Surprisingly, Denji became aware of the people around him and tried to protect the civilians during the fight. Fueled by his desire to fulfill Power's promise, Denji eventually managed to defeat the Bat Devil. In the end, both Power and Nyako were saved. Curious, Power asked Denji why he rescued her after she had tried to harm him. Denji simply responded with a shrug, implying that their deal to touch her boba was still on. In the middle of their conversation, a leech devil suddenly appeared and attacked Denji. He tried to transform again, but this time he couldn't. He had lost too much blood, which limited his ability to change. Even though Denji couldn't use his powers, he still fought bravely. His determination to fulfill his promise kept him going. Unfortunately, sheer willpower wasn't enough, and Denji was overwhelmed by the leech devil. Luckily, Aki arrived just in time and used his powers to defeat the leech devil with a single strike. This revealed Aki's true strength. He had made a contract with the fox devil, who assisted him in battle. Afterward, Aki had a private conversation with Denji in the hospital. Aki explained that Denji and Power had broken several rules. First, they had left their designated area, and second, Power had betrayed Denji. Third, despite Power's betrayal, Denji still defended her. Aki pointed out that if their actions were reported to their superiors, both of them would be dismissed. However, Aki, being reasonable, considered their accomplishments. They had eliminated the Bat Devil and lured out the Leech Devil. Additionally, no civilians were harmed, and some even thanked Denji for saving them. Taking all of this into account, Aki decided not to report their misconduct, but on one condition: Denji had to follow Aki's orders from now on. Denji agreed, and their mistakes were forgiven. The next day, Makima decided to place Power under Aki and Denji's care. From that moment on, the three of them would live together under one roof. Later that night, Power kept her end of the deal and allowed Denji to fulfill his wish. However, after it was over, Denji didn't feel as happy as he had expected. Instead, he felt empty. Touching Power's boba wasn't as thrilling as he had imagined. His high expectations were shattered by reality, and his disappointment lingered the next day at the office. In his usual blunt manner, Denji confided in Makima, saying that touching someone's boba wasn't as exciting as he had thought. Makima then explained to Denji that the pleasure comes from mutual understanding between both sides. It's more meaningful when both parties share a connection. This new perspective intrigued Denji, and Makima, sensing an opportunity, decided to use his naive motivation to her advantage. She promised that if Denji could defeat the Gun Devil, she would grant him any wish he desired. The Gun Devil is an incredibly powerful entity that appeared 13 years ago. In just 5 minutes, it killed 1.2 million people in a brutal attack. After committing this massive slaughter, the Gun Devil vanished without a trace. It was this devil that also took Aki's entire family, motivating him to join the Devil Hunters in the first place. Up until now, the Devil Hunter team has managed to collect several pieces of the Gun Devil's body, which are shaped like bullets. When enough pieces are gathered, they will eventually lead back to the devil's original body. These fragments have scattered across the world, with other devils likely consuming them to grow stronger. The team's mission is to recover as many of these pieces as possible, hoping to eventually force the Gun Devil to reappear. Denji was particularly enthusiastic about this mission, driven by Makima's promise to grant him any wish he desired. His focus shifted from his earlier, simpler goals, now fixated on a new, much more personal reward from Makima. The following day, Aki's team of 6, including Himeno, Kobeni, and Arai, set out to search for more fragments of the Gun Devil's body. They had one bullet piece, which indicated that a devil was hiding inside a hotel. As always, Denji was promised something exciting if he managed to kill the devil. Himeno promised him a kiss. Naturally, this got Denji even more motivated. With both Makima and Himeno offering him tempting rewards, Denji was eager to dive into the mission. Upon arriving at the hotel, the team proceeded to the 8th floor, where something strange began to happen. No matter how far they walked, they kept ending up on the 8th floor. Even more bizarre, time had stopped at exactly 8:18. It was clear that they were trapped in a different dimension. Before long, the devil responsible for trapping them revealed itself. To their surprise, it offered a deal. It wanted to consume Denji, and in exchange, it would release everyone else. 4 of the team members, Power, Himeno, Kobeni, and Arai, were tempted by the devil's offer, thinking that sacrificing Denji was the only way out. Aki, however, refused to let Denji be harmed. He even risked his own safety to protect Denji from Kobeni's impulsive attack. What had once been a solid team was now divided, with distrust and fear running high. Seeing the team falling apart, Denji decided to take action. Relying on his own judgment, he transformed into his chainsaw form and chose to fight the devil alone.